Got some questions on a thrown ball problem, so I thought there wasn't any video on that, so I'd make one here quick. Very common problem in the quadratic section because the effect of gravity makes objects that are falling or being thrown. That effect has it so that there's an acceleration due to gravity. You know, think you jump out of a plane, you're constantly getting faster, 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 right? Well, until you reach a terminal velocity, but initially you're getting faster and faster and faster and faster. Well, since there's not a constant rate of change, it's not linear. That change is changing all the time. It's getting more and more. So you end up with an acceleration, and that's when you end up dealing with the quadratic. The formula for these problems in numeric one looks like this. H equals negative 16t squared plus vt plus c. The negative 16 is always there because that's the effect of gravity. You accelerate at 32 feet per second squared. So that negative 16 is telling you that it's pulling down, and that's half of 32. Okay? So that's always going to be there. Gravity is constant on Earth. V is the velocity, so this problem would be 85. And then C is your starting height, and that would tell you that your height is 6. So the formula we want to use is H equals negative 16t squared plus 85t plus 6. 85t, I want to put a square there. Okay, 85t plus 6. So I want to know if it's going to reach a height of 52. The question is, will it reach a height? That's a yes or no answer, but I do need to be able to justify it. So I don't need to find the time, I just need to know will it. Now, I did mention time, so just to be clear, t over here is the time in seconds, and h is the height. So for instance, if I plug in t as 1, I'm going to figure out how high the object is after 1 second. And if I plug in a 1 in there, it looks like I get 75, because it'd be negative 16 plus 6 is negative 10. Add it to 85, you get 75. So if I plug in 1 second, I get 75. And then the height is in feet. So I'd be at 75 feet. So for this problem, I want to know if I'm going to reach 52 feet. So I just plug a 52 in here. And in any of these, you want to make them equal 0. So I'm going to subtract the 52 over. 6 minus 52 is negative 46. Now the temptation is to do the whole quadratic, but I don't need to do the whole quadratic. I just need to find the discriminant when I need a yes or a no. That's going to tell me how many solutions there are. So b squared minus 4ac would be 85 squared minus 4 times negative 16 times negative 46. So go ahead and plug that in a calculator and see what you come up with. Okay, so I had 85 squared minus 4 times, just going to put a parenthesis there if it'll allow me, there we go, negative 16, and then times negative 46. And when I press equals, I find out that I get 4281, 4,281. Well, that's a positive. That's greater than 0. So it does reach that height. When the discriminant is positive, there's 2 answers, right? So that is positive, so it reaches 52 feet, and it actually does it twice, because there's 2 answers. It'll be on the way up and on the way down. Okay, so then I do one more here just to see, okay, well, let's go even higher. Let's go 120 feet and see what happens. So I start over from scratch. I plug in 120 instead of the 52. Make it equal 0. So 6 minus 120 is negative 114. Do the whole discriminant. 85 squared minus 4 times negative 16 times negative 114. Plug that in the calculator. Okay, so the only thing that's going to change here, I'm just going to do second enter. That brings up the last thing I typed in. The only thing that changes is the end part, so I'm going to make that 114. Enter, and you see I get negative 71. Well, the b squared minus 4ac is what goes in the square root in the quadratic. If you square root a negative, you don't get a real answer. So because this is negative 71, which is less than 0, it doesn't reach that height. Okay? It does not reach 120 feet. So no, it doesn't reach 120 feet. What if it was 0? What if the discriminant was 0? That means that that ball would go, or whatever the object did, would go to that height and then come right back down. That would mean that that height is the vertex or the apex of the throw. It doesn't go any higher than that. It doesn't hit it twice, it would be only once. So on these, when you're looking to see if or when or will it reach that height, you're just doing the discriminant. If you get a discriminant of 0 or positive, it's going to reach that height. Now sometimes you'll be asked, when will it? Well, that's not a yes or no, that's actually a solve. Okay, so it says when will it, you got to solve. I'm still going to plug in 20. So get 20 equals. Still going to make it equal 0. Okay, but now I'm going to solve. I'm going to do the whole quadratic. I'm going to do more than the discriminant. So I need to go x equals negative b plus or minus the square root. Now I do the discriminant part, the b squared minus 4ac. All over 2a. Okay, so now when I ask you these questions, these word problems, we're typically going to give me an answer that's rounded. Because, you know, if I said, hey, how long is it going to take you to get here? You wouldn't say our irrational answer. You wouldn't use a root. So we're actually going to plug this in the calculator. I need to know what this 85, what was my initial one here again? That was 52, right? Okay, just checking. All right, so I got to figure out my discriminant, so I'm going to figure that out. So I'm going to hit second, enter, and I'm going to change it to a negative 14 at the end. So I'm just going to get rid of one of those ones. So the discriminant is 6329. I get negative 32 on the bottom, and now I'm just going to put it in my calculator, and I'm going to get two answers. I'm going to do one for the plus and one for the minus. Okay, so I'm going to do negative 85 plus square root 6329. A common mistake is to, and I didn't see the square root didn't take. Let me fix that here. Delete, second insert, there we go. Oh, that didn't work either. Love this calculator sometimes. There we go. So some are going to be tempted to put divided by the negative 32 right away. Well, your calculator would end up, if I type that in here just for a second, negative 32. Your calculator is going to do the order of operations. It's going to do this part first. It's going to do the divide for the add. So that's going to give you a wrong answer. So make sure that you just do the top part. Okay, enter. Get that answer, then divide that by negative 32. Okay, so the plus, I get 0.17. So over here, I got 0.17, and it, 0.17, and this is in seconds, right? It's 0.17 seconds. Well, that's not very long. What's happening is I'm throwing this object from 6 feet above the ground. It's going up, it's coming down, and it's hitting 20 feet very quickly. It's hitting it in 0.17 seconds. But it's going to go up and come down, and it's going to hit it again. So I got to get that second answer. And to get that second answer, I do negative 85 minus second square root 6329. Figure out what that equals. Divide that by negative 32, and you get 5.14, 5.14 seconds. Okay, so there's the two answers. It hits it twice. This would be like a 5.14 right here. Over here would be 0.17. If I said how long would it take to get to the highest point, hopefully you understand that it's in between these two. You can actually add those two up and divide by 2, and that would give you this time right here. That's not what we're asking for in this problem, but that's certainly something else that could be asked. So I hope this helped you figure out the word problem to throw an object. Feel free to send me questions or requests for any other assistance you might need. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.